Hello. So I'm going to do a screencast for how to solve 848, although I hope you already solved it. Usual deal, if it's valid, solve it, give a proof. If it's invalid, build a counterexample. Here it is. I already copied and pasted the goal in. I'd like to remind you of these steps for solving proofs. This is supposed to help you get started on things. So let's kind of work through this. Does the conclusion have a negation as the main connective? No. It's got a negation in it, but the main connective, of course, that sounded presumptuous. The main connective is this material conditional. Does the conclusion have a material conditional? Yes, it does. So if yes, build the material conditional intro subproof. So assume the antecedent and end with the consequent. Write in what you're doing as you're doing it. Lovely. Okay, so now our new conclusion, because we've already figured out how we're going to get line 7. So our new conclusion is line 6. If you look at these steps, 1 doesn't work, 2 doesn't work, 3 doesn't work, 4 doesn't really work on the face of it because although there's a disjunction in line 1, it's part of a conjunction. 5, not going to help us. 6. Do any of the premises have a conjunction as the main connective? Yes. Break them apart. Okay, so that's what I'll do next. In fact, I have to because there's nothing else I can do. So from line 1 and elimination, I can get small a, and then also from line 1 and elimination, I can get medium b or large c. And write in what you're doing as you're doing it. I have the wrong symbol there, so let me change that. It should be and elim. There we go. Okay, so now, again, the steps will help you. Front of AB is still my goal. So 1, 2, and 3 still aren't helping me, but 4, because now everything above these are all functioning as premises to some extent. So now line 4, do any of the premises have a disjunction as the main connective? Well, yes. Line 6 does. And the suggestion is use a disjunction elim to see if you can solve for the goal. So that's what I'll do. I'll do a medium B and try and get front of AB. And then I'll do a large C and I'll try and get front of AB. And again, write in what you're doing as you're doing it. So I'm trying to get this front of AB in line 11 by using the disjunction in line 6 in conjunction with these two subproofs as part of the disjunction elimination strategy. So how do I get front of AB? Well, you look for where you have front of AB in the premises. That's actually going to be pretty easy because here I have a material conditional. Here I have the antecedent of a material conditional. So I can just use material conditional elim. When you're doing these proofs, you should have, unless all the rules are fresh in your head, you should have something that explains how they all work in there. Maybe make your own little sheet that even tells you how to cite things. So have that fresh in your head. Now for this second of the disjunction elim subproofs, I'm trying to get front of AB. Well, I don't have a chance of getting front of AB anymore, but a large C could get me tet C. And the reason tet C would be interesting and beneficial is because then I could generate a contradiction with not tet C. And if I've generated a contradiction, then I can use that contradiction to write down anything I want, i.e. front of AB. So I'm going to do material conditional elim on 3 and 10 to get tet C. And that's going to be, or 3 and 9, I'm sorry, material conditional elim. Tet C is going to give me a contradiction with not tet C. And in this case, the contradiction is generated by having a sentence and the negation of that sentence. So it's just contradiction intro. And then once you've established a contradiction, you can use that contradiction to get whatever you want. And that is the proof. If that was difficult or you struggled or it didn't come, it took you more than, that shouldn't have taken you more than 20 minutes at the outside. But if it did, assuming you've been doing practice all week, you should definitely contact me so we can make sure that it's clicking as much as possible.